In 2019, 16-year-old Joseph Lipschutz, better known as Stretch, would burst onto Fortnite competitive scene with the mechanical prowess that would change competitive Fortnite forever. His game-changing mechanics and hilarious trash talking would manifest a monster that boasts one of the most impressive Fortnite competitive records North America has ever seen, cementing himself as an icon. However, despite Stretch's dominance and consistency as a professional player, his recent retirement announcement has come as little surprise. Fortnite's viewership in recent times has been at an all-time low across all platforms, questioning whether Fortnite competitive best days are over. Can Fortnite regain its competitive integrity and get icons like Stretch to return, or will it continue turning away the foundations of Fortnite's popularity and legacy? This is the story of Stretch. Love him or hate him, his story is epic. Stretch, the youngest of 4 siblings, was naturally exposed to video games from a young age, as his older brothers would introduce him to games such as Guitar Hero and World of Warcraft, where he would master them incredibly quickly. Stretch had 4,600 hours played in H1Z1 and was already competing at a high level, so when Fortnite came out with this initial built-up hype, Stretch decided to switch after taking a liking to its mechanical aspect involving editing and building. Stretch's ability to pick up games at remarkable speeds allowed him to reach the highest level of Fortnite, alongside his decision to do online school, giving him the time and lifestyle to become a competitive pro. Although Stretch failed to qualify for either World Cup game mode, this only made him more motivated. By the time Trios rolled out, he had noticeably improved, and as a result, World Cup solo champion Booga invited Stretch to play with him in dubs. Stretch and Booga clicked as soon as they started practicing together, finding significant success in inviting Clarity G to replace Dubs in the Season X Trios FNCS with them. Although they found little success in Grand Finals, placing 26 out of 33 trios, they were still one of the most dominant trios overall that season, and Stretch was getting rapid exposure for his game-changing mechanical ability, allowing him to blow up everywhere as one of the next Fortnite competitive superstars. Following his success trioing with Booga and Clarity, the whole esports community had their eyes on Stretch, a mechanical prodigy with unlimited potential. Noticing this, Team Liquid signed Stretch in September 2019, which cemented him as a top-tier professional in Fortnite's competitive scene. Stretch signing with Liquid, a legitimate Tier 1 esports organization, played a significant part in building for his career as a renowned esports figure. When Fortnite released Chapter 2, Stretch emerged as a meta-changing player as he performed consistently in tournaments with his raw mechanical ability nobody could keep up with. His success in solos was unrivaled, with a 3rd in FNCS Invitational and a 1st place in DreamHack Solos. Stretch's ability to win fights with his smart mechanical playstyle made him unbeatable off-spawn. This gave him a fierce off-spawn reputation, allowing him to alpha the best drop spots. His 5th place finish in Chapter 2 Season 2 in Duo FNCS with Booga further continued his dominance in team modes. Towards the end of 2020 in Chapter 2 Season 4, Stretch would trio with one of the greatest duos in Fortnite history, Zayt and Sap. Together they would go on a dominant run, winning Week 5 of Ninja Battles and coming 4th in FNCS Grand Finals, having Doom's Domain uncontested. Chapter 2 Season 5 saw a little less success with Zayt and Sap, coming 8th in FNCS Grands after Zayt retired and unretired. However, they produced probably the most memorable 2021 competitive moment, winning the NA East reboot round, make grand finals, and preserve his record of never missing one in his career ever.
Mega gets second.
They have no mats. 0 mats.
Goes to the med kit so early.
Yeah, they lose.
Oh, he killed. This is the guy who kills him.
They're not even gonna let it go down to a heal.
Dubs has to kill. Wait, how many heals? Nah, he doesn't have more. He does. He had 12 splashes, 4 floppers.
He can pull off the
Wait, Dubs. He RPG'd himself.
They take down Dubs.
He can't. No way. That's a win for Stretch.
Oh my god!
Take it out, Beamer on me.
By now, Stretch had grown a reputation as someone who would lean into trash talk and sometimes be a little toxic, as he would take to Twitter to bully his opponents out of the drop spot and generally complain about the game. During Chapter 2 Season 2, Stretch had the whole controller community turn on him as he would repeatedly try and get aim assist nerfed through social media, as he would state controller took no skill and was merely a form of exploiting the game's broken aim assist.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you guys are even real human beings. Like, you're all so fucking bad at this game. Zero talent, zero genetics, carried by your input, shitters. Lykel, dog shit player without a drum gun. Scoped, dog shit player without a fucking Brutus minigun.
Towards the end of Chapter 2, Stretch's consistency in team game modes continued despite his trio continually changing. Chapter 2 Season 6 found Stretch trioing with Saf and Avery following Zayd's retirement. Their dominance was surprising considering the trio formed just before FNCS, as they finished 3rd in FNCS Grands, and it's not a stretch to think that he and Avery were not getting along, though he did end up giving Avery some love. Chapter 2 Season 7 was a similar story with Saf and Stretch, replacing Avery for Kanata, as the domination of Saf and Stretch as a duo continued as they placed 4th in FNCS Grand Finals. Kanata replacing Avery, the trio became so much more aggressive, taking more fights and racking up more elimination points. This trio did not last long though. Stretch split away from Kanata and Saf, the trio with Scented and Commandment in Chapter 2 Season 8. Saf took a break from the game. Scented and Commandment were a consistent trio who had dominated NA East in Chapter 2, with 4 consecutive second places in Grand Finals, an unprecedented feature in Fortnite competitive, so many felt that Stretch may be the missing ingredient to turn those seconds into first. A 4th place finish from this trio in the Season 8 FNCS Grands was an impressive result considering their first season playing together. However, Stretch's disappointment from consistent 3rds and 4ths in Grand Finals seemed immeasurable. With Grand Royale approaching, the tournament with the largest prize pool since the World Cup, Stretch had decided to stick with Commandment and Scented, and their trio had high hopes for placing well. In the trio cash cups beforehand, their consistency would not falter, as they placed 2nd 5 times along with a 3rd place finish. Uncon lazy results, their 6th place finish was impressive, but perhaps a little underwhelming for Stretch, as all 3 only had first in mind. Chapter 2 was Stretch's dominant era, with unmatched consistency in team modes, impressive performances in solo events. Stretch had remained at the top of the pro scene throughout 2020 and 2021. In Chapter 3, he began to state his frustration with the game. Stretch found the new SMG meta to be stale and uncompetitive, reminiscent of Controller State in Chapter 2 Season 2. Stretch's unrivaled mechanics almost seemed pointless against the raw power of the SMGs in Chapter 3, where he initially struggled to find his footing in the competitive scene. On January 11th, Stretch would make a twitlonger surrounding the unplayable state of the game, which would receive immense support from the competitive community, which outed this chapter as the most non-competitive meta in all of Fortnite. His tweet conveyed the pure hatred he had for the season, which along with his other tweets on the chapter expressed he was falling out of love with Fortnite. After some fairly disappointing cash cup results leading up to the first FNCS qualifier of Chapter 3, Stretch and Commandment finished first in FNCS Week 1, auto-qualifying them to Grand Finals, which was surprising considering Stretch's slow start to the chapter. Commandment and Stretch performed well in a scuffed Grand Finals to finish 8th place, a consistent result for duos. However, Stretch was dissatisfied with the result as he described the Grands as a joke. On October 12th, Stretch announced he had quit Fortnite competitive, which was definitely anticipated considering his hiatus from tournaments since the FNCS in May. Stretch stated he had lost his competitive drive for Fortnite, which was a result of Epic's indifference to the competitive scene and Fortnite's overall decline in viewership. Seeing iconic Fortnite professionals such as Stretch quit is worrying for the game's longevity and future. Other pros such as Benji Fishy, Mongrel, Mitro, and his ex-teammate Saf had also announced their retirement during Chapter 3, with Epic Games' declining emphasis on competitive and Fortnite's viewership at an all-time low. We can expect more and more pros and players to quit Fortnite competitive, unless drastic changes are made soon. If this is truly the end, knock on wood for a comeback, and Stretch's career has to be considered as one of the greats, especially in the North America East region. His 14 out of 14 Grand Finals qualification, which generally lead to a top 5 or top 10, solo results, clutch moments, and overall consistency give him one of the best resumes we have ever seen. The only knocks being his lack of an FNCS championship or a great placement at a LAN like the World Cup. He kept the timeline entertaining with trash talk and left everyone with a lot of memories. I obviously have a lot of hope for competitive Fortnite, but losing a player like Stretch is definitely a step in the wrong direction. Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. And Stretch did some great things throughout his Fortnite career. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.